I'm Mark DeLoss, Vice President of Culinary for Mazzone Hospitality. I'd like to thank you for allowing Mazzone Hospitality to be part of your holiday tradition. Let's start by reviewing all the components of your holiday box. We have green bean casserole, bread stuffing, buttered corn, whipped mashed potatoes, butternut squash, cranberry orange relish, panned gravy, Parker House rolls, butter, apple pie, pumpkin pie, and these ingredients here we'll talk about a little bit later, but these are carrots, celery, and onions so that you're able to make turkey soup with your leftovers. In the start of the show, your beautiful roasted turkey. Your turkey will come fully cooked. Depending on when you want to eat, most likely you'll want to warm it up. To warm your turkey, you want to place it in a preheated oven set at 350 degrees until the turkey reaches the internal temperature of 160 to 165. To check the internal temperature, you want to insert your thermometer that's provided into the thickest part of the thigh and leg. Once your turkey reaches the internal temperature of 160 to 165, pull it out from the oven and let it rest for 30 minutes. Now that your turkey has rested for 30 minutes, it's time to carve. I'm gonna let all the juices run off, and I find it easier to remove the breast, the thigh, and the leg, and then carve rather than try to carve on the carcass. To remove the breast, with a nice sharp knife, you're gonna insert it and run it along the breastbone, cutting away the whole entire breast. With your fork and your knife, pry your pointed tip of your knife and run it along the carcass, and there's your complete breast. For the leg and thigh, same thing. Insert the point of your knife, run it down, and gently put some pressure on to release it. And there you have your thigh, your leg, and one side, one breast. With the carving knife, we're slicing it nice and thin. I like to remove the skin. Makes it a little bit easier to carve and put it right on the platter. I used to fight my twin brother for the skin. Any little crumbs and scraps you can add to your platter. There's no really pretty way to do the leg and the thigh. Basically, you're just pulling the meat from the bone and slicing it into manageable slices. We have a carved turkey. What I like to do is drizzle a little virgin olive oil. Gives it a little sheen. Fresh rosemary sprig and some salt and pepper. Now that our turkey's carved, we can reserve our turkey carcass to make some stock and turkey soup at a later time. Your sides are fully cooked and seasoned. To heat up your sides, we started by preheating our oven to 350 degrees. The pans can go in the oven with the lids on. I like to put the green beans in first because it's the heaviest pan and we don't want to weigh down the pan that we're going to stack on top. Incidentally, by stacking the pans, you're able to fit more in the oven, which helps as far as timing. Next, we're going to go with the butternut squash. Lastly, we're going to go with the stuffing. Everything should fit in a household oven. And the cook time will be approximately anywhere from 45 minutes to an hour. If you care for a more crispy stuffing, we suggest after half an hour being in the oven that you take the top off, remove the paper, just turn it over a little, and put it back in and let it crisp up. To utilize oven space, you can do your corn and your potatoes on the top of the stove. Simply remove the cover, remove the parchment paper, place it in a heavy bottom pot and put that on medium-high heat, stirring frequently. Your potatoes have been seasoned with cream and butter. They smell good. If you find that potatoes are a little thick, add cream or butter to thin them out a little bit. And lastly, we're going to put our gravy on the stove. Your gravy is fully seasoned, but if you care to take drippings from your turkey and put it in there, that'll just give it a little bit more goodness. We have our pans on the oven and we have our 3 items on the stovetop. Don't have your burner on too high, stir frequently, and if you're a little bit ahead of yourself, take it off, let it sit to the side, and then put it back on as dinner comes closer. We're going to make some turkey stock and then some turkey noodle soup using the recipe provided. First, to make our stock, we're going to take carrots, celery, and onions. We're going to cut them up about 1-inch pieces. They don't have to be perfect. Same with the celery. And then for the onion, we're going to quarter that For each half, add your vegetables to your pot. We're going to add the turkey carcass that we had left over, taking away any of the usable meat. Any of the drippings that may be left in the pan do nothing but add flavor. Some bay leaf. We're going to use 3 or 4 parsley stems, fresh thyme, and a little black pepper. Cover that carcass and the vegetables with cold water. We're going to let it simmer for 2.5 to 3 hours at a nice low flame. We don't want our stock to boil because that makes it somewhat cloudy, and we want a nice clear broth. Using the recipe provided, we're going to make some turkey noodle soup. To start off, we're going to sweat our vegetables, carrots, celery, and onions. The amount provided coincides with the recipe. We set our flame on medium heat. We're going to add our celery, carrots, and onions. We're going to simmer that until they become translucent and we start smelling the aroma from them cooking in the olive oil. From there, we're going to turn down our flame. We're going to add our stock, which has been cooled, pepper, salt, bay leaf. If we have any leftovers, we're going to add large or medium diced turkey. We're going to let it simmer 45 minutes to an hour. We're going to finish it by adding some escarole or spinach or any hearty green. And right at the very last minute, we'll add our cooked pasta. Today we're using ditalini. And there you have it, Thanksgiving, day after turkey noodle soup. Now enjoy. On behalf of all of us at Mazzone Hospitality, have a very happy Thanksgiving.